Mitch, we'll start with you. Can you sort of describe that relationship between operators and DPs?
I've done 18 films with Steven, but I've probably done 20, 21 films with Janusz. But I will say that on a Spielberg film, that as a camera operator, I tend to work closer with the director than I do with Janusz. Janusz is occupied with the lighting, which is always difficult on a Steven project because we're looking, 180 degrees plus almost every shot. So he has his hands full. And I think it's helpful for him that I take care of the camera end of things with Steven. And obviously he needs to know what the shot is and what we're doing. But a lot of the communication happens between me and Steven. That's this relationship. It's different on other films,
But is it common for the camera operators and the directors to have a really close connection like that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I'll say this to your listeners, but I have always felt like a camera operator, and probably a lot of people might not be happy when I say this, but I think camera operating job should have been a DGA job, to be honest with you. I mean, most of my work, I'm collaborating with the director. And we're telling stories. It's all visual storytelling.
Yeah.
And that's the director's, prerogative. Especially if it's a visual director who really knows the camera, for sure, I'm working by him a lot. Sometimes the directors are more oriented towards the acting or the writing or other elements of filmmaking. And then in that case, I'll be working with the cinematographer and we'll be figuring out how to shoot a scene.
Do you have the same experience, Buzz?
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely, it depends on who you're working with in a relationship you have with the people that you've been hired by or are currently working with. So it almost, I've been in situations where the DP will walk in and say, okay, where are you guys pointing? And then because I've worked out something with the director and the marks have been made, and then the DP might say, can we not do that until the sun comes around to here? Because they have to protect the visual look of the film. So that it does very much depend upon who you're working with. If it's a writer director, sometimes they don't have their visual language through the camera is not as
sophisticated.
As sophisticated as maybe the director of photography and the operator. Then as an operator, kind of being the go-between to offer suggestions if that's allowed or respected. The collaborative part of it is very much why I like to do it, having collaboration between all departments. But it does depend upon the situation, who's kind of running it.
Have you worked, Buzz, with Spielberg before?
I did the Post. So this West Side Story was the second time around. The Post was a lot of Steadicam in that, a lot, and it was a combination of, at that point, 28 years of a long career, having done all of the shots. Certainly, that were asking me, but the length, duration, and precision of the shots, not so much. It's it's a demanding thing to be, steering the horse when you're, when Steven takes that finder and says, we start here, and then, 4 and 8 pages later, you end up over here, which Mitch is very familiar with. But it is quite an experience, and it's quite a test of your merit and your skill set for sure, and your integrity. But ultimately, it really is rewarding to see it all come together and know you're a part of it. So, yeah.
I can imagine just the precision alone, the amount that rests on the camera operators is pretty staggering when you think. I mean, you kind of are like the last link in the chain of what is going to be successful or not. Like if the talent doesn't hit their marks, you get them. But on the camera side, it's you. Like you've got to hit your mark. You got to be there, ready to go. You never want it to be your problem that you can't have a take.
Even if the actors don't hit their marks, it's still our fault.
Exactly. I always say, if the Mona Lisa had sat 3 feet to the left, she wouldn't have been in the frame. So hit your marks. But anyway, yeah.
But no, you're right. We are performers just like the actors are. I've done, so many films with Steven where the camera is basically another character in the film. And we have to perform when Steven or any director says action, it's not a technical response. I mean, we are performing, and we don't get to make mistakes, though. We can't drop a line or forget, miss a mark or forget our line or something. We're expected to always be there. And I understand that, because what actors put into their performances, the difficulty of the emotional content of what they're doing, I get it. I understand it. And a performance could be a one-take thing. And if you're not on it, if you're not doing your job, that performance can be wasted, which would be tragic, So we put that on our shoulders to do that.